What's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here, SpeakingLifestyle.com. We're going to talk about what should your... Damn it. What's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here, SpeakingLifestyle.com, and we're going to talk about what your daily calendar should look like if you want to get on more stages. Now, in the beginning, I was just struggling in general in terms of just sending cold emails, because it's one of those things where you don't know like when to send, what to send. There's all sorts of things that's popping up inside of your brain. And what really helped, and I keep telling people this, is to schedule your days, like literally schedule everything. So here's what you do in terms of scheduling your days with getting gigs. In the beginning, just in general, there's only two things you have to do to actually get on a stage. There's one, the website, and two, outreach. So first, you schedule your day in terms of like, how do I make the website look bomb as all hell? Once you make the website just look amazing, then you schedule your day in terms of setting up the CRM. You get the CRM set up, you get the email software set up like Yesware, Mailshake, one of those things. After that, this is just like a one-time thing in terms of the website and the CRM. After that, you're gonna set up your daily schedule in terms of like this. So remember, there's two main things that you're doing in terms of your daily schedule. There's finding events, contacting events. Those are basically the only things that you should be doing after you get your website set up, the CRM set up. So what you do is you do the Pomodoro technique. And for the longest time, I just had trouble focusing, because once again, like I'd sit there, I'd do something, then maybe you get a text or whatever. But I had a long time, or I just had trouble focusing until I started doing the Pomodoro technique, where you work for, let's say, 60 minutes, you take a 10-minute break, 60 minutes, 10-minute break, you keep doing that back and forth. What I did 90 minutes though, because I'm like, man, I'm a rock star. I'm 60 minutes, my ass, I'm gonna do 90 minutes. So I did 90 minutes. I said, okay, 90 minutes, all I'm doing is prospecting. All I'm doing is finding events. That's literally it. I'm not contacting them, I'm not doing anything. I'm just finding events. It would be 90 minutes, find the events, 10-minute break, 90 minutes, find the events, 10-minute break, then another 90 minutes finding all the emails to those events that I found. For those of you who have the program, you understand what I'm talking about in terms of splitting it up. But basically, it was 90 minutes finding, 10-minute break, 90 minutes finding, 10-minute break, and then another 90 minutes just finding emails. And then once again, I would go back 90 minutes finding, 10-minute break, and I would do that all day until the very end of the day. At the very end, I would take those emails and I contact them. At the very end, that's what I do at the end of the day. You just contact them. And this is where you're just literally sending them through, whether it's Mailshake, Yesware, whatever that is that you're using. You just put all the emails in there. You send out that email template number one. Bam! Hire me. No, not like that. But that's day number one. Here's what's gonna happen after you do that, especially if you use my email templates, you're gonna get a ton of responses. When you get the responses, you wake up the next day, you spend, once again, the Pomodoro technique, you wake up the next day, 90 minutes, or maybe probably about 60 minutes, you don't really need 90 minutes to respond, but all you're doing in the beginning of the day is you're responding to those emails that you've gotten, I don't know which one to use, gotten, I don't know, whatever. But you respond freaking for 60 minutes to whatever you got in terms of the emails. Then you take a break if you want, but then you get back to the 90 minutes again. So at this point, 90 minutes finding, take a break, 90 minutes finding, take a break, then contact for the 90 minutes at that point. Then you take a break, then at that point, once again, you're finding so-and-so, and that's literally all you're doing. At the beginning of the day, you're responding to all the emails. At the end of the day, you're responding to all the emails that you're getting, but you're not responding in between the time. In between the time, all you're doing is finding the events, you're finding the emails, and you're contacting those. That's all you're doing throughout the entire day. That's literally what your schedule should look like. It should ultimately look boring as all hell to most people. And when you do this day in and day out, you probably will get bored, actually. It's actually, it's inevitable that you're gonna get bored. So you have to kind of train your brain to not get bored in a way. So this is why I created like a sales game in terms of I'm gonna beat my high score. So let's say I found in a day, I don't know, 112 events in a day. So the next day I would say, all right, let me try to beat it. I'm gonna try to hit 115 events. So I just turned into a game like that. That way you don't get so bored doing it. And you do this day in and day out. And remember, at the beginning of your days, you're responding to the events. At the end of the days, you're responding to the events. That's pretty much what you're doing. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about that I wrote down here. I'm not going to cut this out. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I want to say. Let's see. Spend more time. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Oh, right. Got it. So also, as you are contacting them, so when you're when you're responding to them, so remember the beginning of the day and the end of the day, you're responding to events. When you're responding to the events, you're check marking your lead score as you're responding to the events. The lead score, all it is, it's a set of qualities that an event has that's more likely to hire you. So if you know that this is a conference, that's a negative lead score, because conferences, they don't pay speakers. I mean, they're cheap as all hell. They don't pay you a damn thing. So conferences, that's a negative lead score. If it's an annual employee event, that's a positive lead score. So what this tells you is, I'm gonna spend more time on the annual employee event than I will on the conference. I'm gonna actually respond more and just spend more time with the emails and all that. That's all the lead score does. It helps you with that. Otherwise, you're gonna end up spending the same amount of time on an unqualified lead as you would a qualified lead, and you don't wanna do that. So remember, that's basically how your day should go. In the beginning, you're basically setting up your business with the website, the CRM, and then you're finding the events all day. At the end of the day, you're simply contacting those events. The next day, you simply, at the beginning of the day, you respond, and then in the middle of the day, you find and contact again. At the end of the day, you respond. While you respond, you fill out the lead score, and then bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you got the gigs. And by the way, I want 99% of your gigs just because I gave you the advice. And so, yeah, I think it's only fair that you do all the work and I take all the money. So, thank you.